Good day, everybody. And today's lab is going to be configuring a standard access list and an extended access list. So let's kind of look at a standard is only going to filter layer 3. ACL extended will do layer 3, IP address, layer 4, port number, and also your protocol. So a couple new things we did. Let's go ahead and let's do a show run on the router. Password cyber. So host name, SSH, gigabits. Something new that I did for this activity, what I did logging host. So the command's logging host and then the IP address. So that's for syslog and also NTP service. So let's do show clock. And it is the wrong time and date. It is 1 o'clock on 2/12. So we'll fix that here in a second. So go to a PC1. We'll test HTTP and HTTPS. Navigate to the URL. So once it's done, you can see it works. I'm adding an S and I hit enter or hit go. And then we'll double check it, click on a link, and then you still see the S. So it looks like HTTPS is working. Now we'll go. We're going to copy start TFTP to test the TFTP server. So that'll be inside. You could do a router or switch. So copy start TFTP. IP address. And then it's asking me in brackets as your default, just go ahead and press enter. And then we'll verify on the server, but it looks like it did say it wrote 775 bytes. Next service, DNS. So we can just go ahead and, we know DNS works because we put it in the web browser. So you can also ping the domain. And that's also testing your DNS. And then syslog, what we're going to do, just go ahead and grab one of these triangles. And then I'm just going to hit escape. Now let's go back to the server. Under services, syslog, you can see that. So if I keep this on top, unplug this one. So you can see all the messages coming in from the different interfaces. So syslog is working. NTP, so we just checked the time right now. So it is the wrong time on the server. So I'm going to update the time, 1:04. I don't have authentication turned on. So at this point, if you read down here, NTP doesn't have like a standard default. It starts with 64 seconds, and then once it stabilizes, it'll eventually go to 124 seconds. So we're just going to fast forward time here for about 5-6 minutes. And then we do show clock again. Okay, now it's updated. So the NTP is working. And all the switches should be updated too if you want to double check those. And email, so we can go to any client. Go to email. Compose. We got to get our usernames now. I'll just send an email to myself. taking its time. Send successfully, and then we go ahead and hit a receive, and there's the new message. So email's working. And then FTP. So we can go ahead and just copy this. Go to your client's command prompt. Cisco username, and what was the password I put on there? Oh, it's Cisco. So there are dir quit. So we've proven that all these is your username and password. We've proven all these are successful. So we don't have, we're going to use this clear access list counters a little bit later, but we're going to do a show access list to verify there are none on the router. So once there's nothing there. All right, so let's take a look at our very first access list. So remember, we're going to do a standard, which is going to block the entire IP suite. So everything, but what we're going to do is permit the server. So access list standard. So we can only use source IP. The name is here, and that's a config error right there. Make sure they're the same. Do number them. So we'll start with 10, permit, host, 10.10.10.0.254. That also could be written 10, permit, IP address, and then quad zeros after that. And then we do 100, deny any. And then we're going to put it on gigabit on the out. So I'm going to go ahead and start some pings here. So I'll leave this up. Let's copy the new config. So remember, you define your access list first, and then you apply it to your interface. So it didn't stop pinging. So let's go to do show access list. All right, there you go, 12 matches. Now we're at 16. So it looks like that access list is working. So if we want to clear the counters, we can go do clear access lists. The counters, clear access counters, and then run your show access list, and our matches are gone. Okay. So at this point, that server, anything that its IP protocol is going to come out of that network, because we said permit, and it's never going to deny it. So the second access list, we're going to move to an extended, and I know we're going to talk about it next week, but configuring is the best thing to teach you how to learn them. So here's your access list extended. So now we're going to do IP, source destination, protocol, and port number. And so then we're going to start with the number 10, permits. www traffic is TCP. So we got to define either TCP or UDP now, or IP. And then we have the network address, which is the network in the yellow. And then the wildcard is 001.254. And if we look at our IP address, So you flip the ones and the zeros and it comes out to be 001255. So what we're saying is this whole entire network, anything from 0 or 1 to 254 is allowed to reach this host only through www. And then once again, we'll do a deny IP source and destination any. And then we're going to put it on gigabit 10 on the outs. Now, what we're going to learn today is when you put an access list on, you may inadvertently block traffic. So let's copy this. Start up the pings here. As soon as I press enter, I don't even have to. It's already unreachable. So what's happening is it's getting in, but it's not letting it back out. So there's your matches. So it just keeps going up. I'm gonna hit. So let's fix that. So what we're gonna do is add a line to allow the protocol ICMP, which only goes up to layer 3. And once again, we're gonna use the same network, the same wildcard, and we'll use host. So let's add this line here and see if it fixes. So watch again. I'm going to remove the command. So no. So once I remove it, destination reachable all of a sudden. So that's the thing about an access list. Once it gets in a network, it may not be permitted to back out, and vice versa. So this was a lab that I wanted to work with you. I wanted it simple so we didn't have routing protocols and other issues. So once again, we need to test the web page, though. We didn't do that. Fireblock.biz. We'll fast forward time. So let's try this IP address 10.10.0.254. Okay, IP works. So what would we have to add if we want DNS to work? So what we're going to do, let's add DNS. Let's put this at 17. We're going to permit. So it's DNS TCP or UDP? We'll see TCP, and then copy this, and then ports. DNS is port 53. EQ 53. Let's see if this works. Right. Back to the access list. Do show access list. And so then we got more matches here. So if I paste, so once again, So that didn't work. So let's go to simulation real quick. Let's look inside the DNS. Port 53, UDP. See, if we would have checked if we'd have Wiresharked it or checked the activity first, we'd have known. So let's put in UDP, see if that will fix it. So I'm just going to paste it, change it to 19, and then we change it to UDP. Copy this. Paste. Boom. Now we got our DNS working. So really, next week, what we're end up going to do, we'll go right down this list. And if you want to, you have the kind of the baseline right now. You can kind of just use my template and kind of work off of it. But the biggest thing is going to be TCP or UDP and what port number. So hopefully this lab helps. I'll post this so you guys can start to play around and explore those access lists. Have a great long weekend.